I've always been a collector. I collected coins. I collected stamps. If I had my card collection from baseball cards, I probably could have paid for my house. You kind of become a hoarder. My parents have their basement totally full of stuff. The same thing has happened to me. Christmas stuff, collections. I have stuff still in my parents' basement. Eventually I started thinking, I got enough of this stuff. What can I do with it? When you get something for nothing, it's hard for you to turn down something when you say that you think that it could be used at some point, even if you don't have a use right now. So when you have a space as an artist, you usually fill it. My most favorite time was remembering when I was in kindergarten and the boys played with blocks. The girls had a little fenced area that was like a little house. They always played house every day. So we were teaching our children to become what we had hoped they would grow up to become. Only thing was, the boys got to create anything they wanted to. It was all in their imagination. So I always liked this idea of constructing and building out of nothing in your imagination. And so I like to do that so that then maybe someone else could experience something unique, having a unique experience by viewing something I had created. I started about 3 years ago. I didn't have a lot when I first started out. Maybe I had maybe a few hundred, maybe 500. And I kept collecting. I kept sorting. I kept organizing. I kept selecting certain ones that I liked. And so pretty soon I started realizing that I had themes. I had robots. I had dragons. I had dinosaurs. I had, Furbies. I had characters from different movies. So all of a sudden I started planning for future pieces because I couldn't do them unless I had enough. I feel real good about the process. I finally have a process and understand the method to the madness. I went to a state school, and I asked them, I said, well, I want to be an interior decorator. And they said, well, next closest thing we have to that would be maybe an art major. So why don't you do that? So I took one art course, and right away I loved it. One art course led to 2 art courses, to 3 art courses. By the time I was a senior, I was taking all art courses, and saw a professor that I saw as probably almost a father figure, and that I wanted to be like. His parents always wanted him to be a doctor or a pharmacist. So actually he started calling himself Dr. Gladstone. He actually started dressing up like a doctor. He would actually in his demonstrations, he would actually perform an operation and bring clay to life. So, but it always was a failure at the end. He couldn't actually bring it to life, but there would be blood all over the place. Most of the subjects that were in my work were pretty abstract, design oriented. So I was doing very simple design constructions, and they weren't very figurative. Although I would go through periods, and then I would kind of stick with that period, develop it until I got tired of it, and then something else would interest me. But I constantly kept collecting.
Like in the light places it doesn't do that. So I don't know if it was because it was like super black or something, but I kind of liked how it was turning out.
Once I became a professor, my ultimate goal is not only for them to be able to draw well, but to see better. The end result is always the same. That all of the students, the last day of class, I ask them again, do you think that is some quality that you've gained in the class? And always the answer is that they feel really good about the experience and that they could actually sit down and draw anything. You talked to our father's closet yet?
No, I haven't gotten a chance to go.
You've got to go over there and drop my name, because this is something that I might have to think about tomorrow. Okay? My work probably developed along, again, a visual digestion of viewing objects, history, art, and growing with an understanding of how other artists related to culture and society, and seeing what they've done, and then trying to emulate and build on my own life and experience to be able to express myself. So that development of myself as an artist greatly qualifies me to be able to teach others that path of development. You have to look back at art to understand in the past the responsibility of the artist to reflect upon his time. So I think that the future for artists is to do the same. It's the action within the details. It has to do with the freedom that you had as a child. There's no replacement of that. If you're trying to be like someone else and never find who you are, you've lost the importance of life and where you can take it. You know, you have unique experiences. You need to use those experiences to be making decisions. And every decision you make is based upon your knowledge and those experiences you've had. So taking that and finding out who you are and then expressing that fact will set you apart, because no one can live your life but you.